Hello, friends, and welcome to your weekly check-in. Find your long spine, your elongated spine, right? And elongated, all I mean by that is that we are actively, gently, and actively having the spine, the top and the bottom move in opposite directions so that the spine lengthens. And once you find that position for your spine, let the rest of your body soften down around that. Forehead, eyebrows, eyes, jaw, tongue, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Check into the belly. Make sure there's no excess tension through the abdomen, through the pelvis and the hips. And as we begin to sit down, right, preparing the body to move inward, is what Pico Iyer describes as moving into our inner landscape, exploring the inner landscape. And I can't speak for all folks, but when I do this work, there are times when I sit down and show up and pretty quickly some big stuff starts to come up. Sorrow, shame, anger, various things. I'm dealing with a lot of grief, but also, anger and other things that are coming in around that lately. And my tendency is to want to move away from that and not go into the darkness, not sit with the darkness. And yet there's a deeper, wiser part of me that knows sitting with it is the way through. And that there's wisdom in these emotions. So if anything is coming up for you, I invite you to notice physical reaction to it. Is there a restriction of the throat, a clenching of the fists? Maybe a part of your body starts to get warm or hot. And as you notice these physical reactions, pardon me, without judgment, just come back to trying to soften the body and the physical tension you're feeling with the body softening. Come back to the beautiful breath. Anytime that is a helpful tool. And it may continue to come back, or maybe that wave passes. And again, if a call it a bigger emotion, a reactive emotion starts to come up for you, take the time to notice the physical effects of that reaction. And so gently let go of tension. Begin to Smooth the breath out. And we're not trying to get rid of the emotion. We're trying to stop the body from reacting in such a strong way that we cannot discern the wisdom of the emotion, right? But it hijacks us and moves us away from our executive function. And without expectation or thinking this is the right way to do something, right? Maybe if we can get to a point where the emotion is not as reactive, maybe we can start to discern what that emotion is telling us. And that might be as simple as just asking, right? Do you have a message for me? What is your message for me? Maybe an acknowledgement to self, holding your heart, right? Or a part of your body that's reactive, and just letting them know, I'm sorry to see that you're angry, that you're full of shame, that you're hurting. Is there something you'd like to tell me? And if you feel like that's aggravating, irritating, or just too much, just work with noticing the reactive emotion, noticing how the body responds when the reaction begins, or whenever you catch it, really. Trying to soften muscular tension and smoothing out the breath. And put the weight of the world on your shoulders, expecting you, right? To not only be able to stop the reaction from happening, but to be able to discern, right, what the emotion is, and then also to be able to respond to that in a way that you never get that emotion again, or whatever that might be. Let it just be, this is where I am today. This is what seems to work for me, or what I'm capable of today, and accepting exactly that. Then bring your hands into your heart, one on top of the other. And just taking a moment from this space with a little bit of self-compassion. And this is based on the belief that we are all suffering in some capacity, whether it's just from the heat and humidity outside, or maybe there's been a loss in your life. And it doesn't have to be recent. Maybe there's one from a long time ago that's revisiting, whatever it may be, right? And maybe just say to that deeper part of yourself, I'm sorry you're suffering. One of my favorite things I say to myself quite a lot is from Fred Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I love you just the way you are. Now bring the palms together in front of your heart. Inhale. Exhale, gently bow the head in. And I also like to say it to other beautiful beings. I love you just the way you are. Namaste. And to any of my friends who have big emotions coming up at the moment, I feel you. And I'm sorry you're suffering. I'm having a lot of them come up myself. And this is the work I've been sitting down. These are the practices, let me say it that way. These are the practices that I've been showing up to that have been helpful to me. So maybe be helpful to you. I love you just the way you are.